All right, morning guys, welcome back to the shop. It is very empty in here this morning. Don't really know what to do with myself. The black Ford, don't know, did a little update on it a while ago, but we got it over here, put it on the lift, picked the cab up. We were gonna do some rust repair that was already supposed to be done, and I dug into the body work that was there, and that project has now been halted because the work that was done on it is subpar, and it's either got to be all redone or we got to find a new cab. So I think their option is looking at a new cab. My buddy has a couple of them, so I think that's the route we're going to go. So it's actually going back to his shop this morning here. Truck's warming up. I'm going to go hook it up. We're going to take a small piece of sheet metal. I got one little spot that they want me to patch on Princess up on the bed rail right by the post that holds the top on. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Really didn't notice it until they started cleaning and sanding on it. So gonna do that, and then we're gonna come back here with a 60s Mustang fastback. I'm gonna put it up on the table here. It's completely stripped. It's an Eleanor replica car, and it needs floor pans and a bunch of other work. So that's gonna go up here. It's gonna be kind of awkward to get to, I think, but I think it's gonna work the best because I can stick it to the table and keep it from moving when we're cutting it apart. So that's gonna go up here. That's kind of some filler work for now. Not anything that has to be worked on right away, but it's here so we can work on it. We also have an Impala that's gonna come in hopefully next week. They get it wired and running, and we can do floor pans and stuff in it. But today I think I've got some small projects to do for some guys. I'm gonna cut out some plates I designed last night for a support post. I'll go pick that steel up on the way home today. I also dropped the transmission off for Princess, the one that was out of our other 79 Bronco, to get fixed. We're gonna fix the case today, so we gotta take that case apart. We gotta take my spare case apart so I can get the output shaft, the input shaft coupler here, so I can get this guy out of here and put into that case. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm actually gonna bring the transmission home, I think, with me when I pick up the car. So we're gonna get those coupled together and on the jack and ready to be put in. And then later this evening, we'll drag Berta back in here and I'll start putting it back in. So busy day, kind of some random little stuff, but let's go take care of it.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I got is working, never stop searching, never quite so thirsty, I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it, it's been chronic, since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic,
built to last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving, got my foot on gas, never stop competing, if you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em, make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em, if you take off the cast, you can see all the healing, if the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it, I just wanna be iconic, sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it, you know that I'm always honest, stay away from those who are toxic, keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah.
Don't try to drain my energy, the enemy is everything, it's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me, I don't need your therapy, I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity, come on, we can fight this, freedom is priceless, spread just like a virus, living.
All right, had a small little rust spot to patch here, and it was because there's multiple layers here, just like Ford likes to do. All fixed. Little spot in here, all fixed. I got one more bolt to remove back here. We'll weld it's actually a screw, but I'm gonna weld this nut to it and we'll see if we can back it out of there.
In a crisis, do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. Yeah. Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat and make mistakes.
Guys, I told you this video was going to be all over the place. Got the Mustang here, but it's got to go on this table, and at the moment I'm using it. Built that post. This is for my wife's uncle. Owns a small remodel business, and they need a post to hold up a beam kind of like this in a garage, I guess. Kind of see that one right there. I got the post there, but anyway, had to build that for him real quick. And then this is the transfer case out of my Bronco, Berta, the 79 red Bronco that we own. Coyote swapped. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, shoot, probably a month ago now, I lost all forward and reverse movements. Couldn't figure out why. Put it on a trailer, brought it home. I left it. Last weekend, I pulled it apart. Figured out what was wrong with it, kind of what I suspected. This little fella right here is the input shaft out of it. You can see that there's a pile of rust inside of there. It's really hard to tell, but the splines are all messed up. Couldn't figure out at first why it happened, but I have sense. So this is my spare case that originally came out of Berta. It leaked like a sieve. We went through it, it still leaked, had a vibration to it. I didn't like it. Don't think the vibration had anything to do with the case now, but anyway, it did leak. So I rebuilt this one, cleaned it all up, painted it, sealed it all up. It was all good to go. And over time it started leaking, and it was leaking where the case and the transmission adapter bolt together. So tightened it up, it was loose. Didn't know why. Thought, well shit, maybe I messed up and didn't tighten them all the way. It did it again. Tightened it up one more time, and then not too long after that, it spun, and you can actually see that got hot. This is what the other one looks like. Definitely got warm. So, got hot, broke that, made all kinds of cool noises. Well, when I took it apart, I realized what was going on. These little bolts right here are the Allens that actually hold the little front cap here onto the case. Sorry, on this side. This is where the transfer case and transmission adapter bolt up. So they go in right here. You see that little shiny spot on them? Kind of hard to see, but there is a shiny spot right there on all 4 of them. Okay, let's go over here and compare that to what the bolts look like that I had in there. Little tiny 12 point. So at some point, this case, or this case, one of the two, they had been changed. Now, sitting over here on my mill, which I need to chuck up in there and fix, is the adapter plate. See that little mark right there? How about that one? Or the other two? Well, that's where those bolts, whoo, almost lost you there. That's where those Allens were rubbing. So when I bolted it together, it's dark under there, everything's snugged up tight, but it wasn't tight. It was sitting on those bolts. And as those bolts wore in, it got loose. That's when it was tightened up, and then they wore in again. And then I tightened it up one more time. So now I'm gonna take and I'm gonna knock this back right here and open those up a little bit. And then I'm gonna put the 12 points back in it. We're also gonna put the input coupler off of the old case in here. This case I'm just using for mock-up anyway. When we get these adapters from Atlas, and this was my first one I did, but we had to machine some out of them to make them fit the 205. So they miss all this stuff and they miss the shift rail up here. So a little different than the Atlas cases that's designed to run, but we make it work. And it actually works pretty good. The truck runs really well. This was no fault by any means of the swap, the 6R80 stuff, the 205, the Coyote, anything. This was me. I screwed this one up. So I'm gonna put this thing back together. I have a new 6R80 in the bed of the truck. I'm gonna bring it in and I'm gonna put it on the transmission jack, which is under the table here. And then we're going to bolt the case on it, and I'm hoping to slide everything in there in one piece. So I'm gonna get this put back together. It's lots of fun. They have lots of cool loose needle bearings in them. There's a set in there, and then there's a set all the way down in there. So I'll get this put back together. I'll fight with it, and later on we'll get it put back in. So we'll get back at you. All right, guys, so I got this sitting down on here now, and no rocking. It's not hitting anywhere. We did clearance out the inside of this just a little bit to make sure that it wasn't gonna hit. So I'm confident this is good. It's all glued down. I'm gonna tighten it up here real quick, and we'll see if we can get the transmission in here and get them put together again. All right, guys, told you it was gonna be a random, all over the place video today. Everything. Housework, growing a Mustang on a table, transfer case for a Bronco, little patchwork on our other Bronco. It was everywhere, all over the place. Anyway, this is our next big project. We are not doing the whole thing here. My buddy Briar at Revival Resto Mods is doing this car, but I am fixing all of that. Go figure, a Mustang with rust in it. All this needs to be fixed. So this car was a race car. It was a drag car, and we are undrag carring it. Lots of cool stuff under here. So it is getting floors from front to back to fix all of that. nonsense there. This has all been welded in here for structure. More back here. All kinds of fun stuff. Firewall has a million holes in it. All this is getting cut off. Lots of fun. So that's a big project. I'm gonna get it all squared up on the table. We'll center line it, make sure everything lines up and jives. We think there might be something going on with one of the rear arms. Not arms, the rear rails there in the back. Wow, I wish I could speak. This is ready to go back in the Bronco. I got a new Dorman pan for it with a drain in the bottom of it, so we'll put that on after we get it in there. But the case is all back together and fixed. Definitely solid, and there's no play there. That's good. Sounds like it's gonna work just from moving it around. So I'm gonna get that thrown back in here tomorrow. We'll probably do a separate video on that. We got the last little bit of rust, hopefully patched on Princess, so they can get that painted. We're hoping by the first of the year to have some color on that. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep trucking along here. Hopefully you guys are sticking around and watching. If you are, make sure you're subscribed, leave a like, leave a comment, let us know what you think. And like always, until next time guys, keep building awesome stuff. Later.